Hello students. So today we will be studying the first story prescribed for your syllabus. That is the three questions by Leo Tolstoy. Now this story is about wisdom, knowledge, awareness, forgiveness and acceptance. The story is told in the third person narration. The main character in the first half of the story is the king, and he seeks answers to three questions. And the three questions are: what is the right action? Who is the right person? And what is the right time? Because he wants to deliver justice to his subject. He wants to be known, or he wants to go down in history as a just king. So he gets it proclaimed. He asks his courtiers about this, his ministers, but he gets a variety of answers. Like somebody tells him that the priest is the most important person, somebody tells him his foreign minister is the most important person. He is not satisfied. So he gets it proclaimed in his Gandam to know the answers to these questions. But even those answers do not satisfy him. Then he comes to know about a hermit who lives in a nearby village. He lives in the forest, in fact, but he does not meet people of royal lineage. He meets only ordinary men. So the king decides to go there, meet the hermit, and know the answer to his three questions. So he disguises as a common man. He goes to the hermit who is digging a flower bed. He does not pay attention to the king, just acknowledges him. The king waits, he waits till the evening, and it is only in the evening that the hermit gives him some time, but it gets late at night and the king is forced to spend his time in the hut of the hermit. And during this whole time, a certain action takes place, and by the next morning, the king is able to get the answers to his questions. So, when the king goes to the hermit, he waits till the evening. In the evening, when the hermit is there, he suddenly sees a person rushing to his hut, and the person is bleeding. So, leaving behind everything, first they look after the person, give him first aid, and the next morning, when the man is able to answer and speak, he says that he was actually an enemy of the king, and he came to kill the king, but because of certain things, because the king did not go back in the evening, so he could not kill him, and in fact the bodyguard of the king recognizes him and he wounds this man, but the wounded man is taken care of by the king. And so by this whole story, the king gets answers because the hermit tells him that the person you are with at the present moment is the right person. Your action depends on your present situation, and these are the answers that he gets to his questions. So just let me try to explain all these things. So the king seeks answers to his three questions. He has to rely on the hermit for his answer. The king disguises as a common man, ordinary man, approaches the hermit and ultimately gets answer to his questions. The three questions that wrapped the whole attention of the king was the right time of action, the right person to whom to listen to, and the right action. So this story goes parallel with the enlightenment of Buddha, Buddha's theory, which gives us the fundamental reality of life. The writer of this story declares that all forms of violence are equally wrong, including war and compulsions that the state uses against its citizens. The story is about the moral philosophy which is written in expressive style and in a fairy tale kind of manner. The author abides by the new belief simplified by life, living on his own labor and giving up material possession. In the end, when the king had the injured man, then hermit came to him and gave him the answers, and he said that the most important thing is that one should do with the people. Then the most important time is the present time, because it is the present time over which we have total control. And to do well of people is the most important action. Now, we can even talk of symbolism in this story. And the symbolism is in the form of the, the wounded man coming there, getting attention of the king getting to know who this person is, and so that is symbolism of this in this story. And the imagery that the author uses is the image of the hermit, the image of the king, and the image of his kingdom. So these images make it look like a real story, although it's a fictitious story. But through this story, the author is trying to convey some moral, so it can also be called as a parable. So this is about the summary, the symbolism, the imagery in this story. In the next video, we will discuss the questions, answers to this story. Thank you.